Parking brake.
Parking brake release time 3-1.
All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Start right engine.
Starting right.
So the start switch is in the start
Oil
position.
pressure.
That's the job of the first officer. And the fuel control switch to run. That's the job of the captain. So this initializes an automatic start. The N2 increases, the oil pressure increases, then the N1 by about 33-34%. The fuel is injected, and the rest of the start sequence continues. Starting well. The push is good as well. The right direction. No worries, as I said, like I had a few difficulties tonight, so start left engine.
Starting left.
So the N2 is increasing, fuel control switch to run.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today.
Welcome on board the flight.
Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for important safety information. There is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates
Parking
the
brake
safety
set,
equipment on board
standby.
this aircraft.
He's not going to stand by,
Regulations
but
require
normally you
compliance
have
with
to
this
wait
information
for
as well as all
the
crew
two engines to be
instructions.
started
Delighted
to
information signs
disconnect
and
them.
posted placard.
But he's going to
Fasten your
disconnect
seatbelt by
now.
inserting the metal tip into the buckle.
That's the
Tighten by
limitations of
pulling on the belt.
GSX, I guess.
To release your seatbelt, lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy
engine
that you
sounds
keep
are
your
great
seatbelt
on this.
fastened at all times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs and instructions for door operation. Each door is equipped with an escape slide. Locate the nearest exit to you and note that the nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, lights will illuminate the aisle. The cabin is pressurized.
Okay, the
If
bypass
there is a
pin
loss of
is
cabin
removed.
pressure, a panel will open and oxygen
Flaps
mask
5.
will appear.
Flaps 5.
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and pull a mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Oxygen will be flowing to the mask even though the bag may not inflate. Cover your nose and mouth with a mask. Place the elastic band around your head and tighten by pulling on the ends. Secure your own mask before assisting others. Your life jacket is located
Check
under
the flight controls.
Tighten the straps
The recall
and
is
once
checked.
outside the aircraft, pull on the tabs to
Up,
inflate your jacket.
Down, left,
If the jacket fails
right,
to inflate,
and the
use the
rudders.
tube placed near the neck. Your jacket is equipped with a light that will automatically illuminate in water. This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or in the lavatories. Cabin lights will now be turned off. Reading light buttons are located over your head.
Should go
Thank
away.
you very much
Yeah,
for your attention.
I think he's already waved the pin to show the pin that has been removed, and then he'll go away. Yeah, it's good. I will proceed.
I have control.
Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist, anti-ice, auto, recall, checked. Flight controls,
Checked.
ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist, complete.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Let's go. I'll send a little message on Unicom. Actually, I need to change back to Unicom. That's done. There's so many things to do, huh? Taxi the aircraft. What is this guy doing here? Hey, we are gone November. That's it. Oh, he's going along Alpha. Very good. Cool. I like to see a little bit of traffic around. Right, so hopefully we'll get the cabin ready. And once we get the cabin ready, we can do the before takeoff checklist. We'll do a quick review for the takeoff. We got flaps 5 required, 5 selected, and we've got a V2 of 144. We've got Toga on a Vienna arm, the track of 178, initially 4,000 feet. It's the Nambo 8 Lima departure we're gonna do. Cabin is ready, beautiful.
The cabin's ready.
I'll take the weather display.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist complete.
Checklist complete. Right, we have somebody ahead of us, so I'd better slow down a little bit. I'm not sure if he's gonna depart or if he's taxiing somewhere, but we'll see what he does. How is everybody doing tonight? All good? And this fine Thursday evening. Cool, yeah, so we're following the aircraft ahead. November all the way to the holding point runway 18 in Frankfurt. Yeah, I was surprised if you were with me on the first leg from Vienna to Frankfurt a couple of days ago. I was surprised to see that this flight a couple of times a day, I think, or maybe only once a day. It's actually on 777-200 ER. So it's good to see that there are a few 777 services within Europe. It's very good, but it's quite rare. I'm sure it will go well. I'm sure it will go well. Look, now you have to take it easy, and the controllers are quite supportive, and then you know you do your thing and have fun. That's the main thing. Right, so yeah, ahead the Swiss has announced his intention to line up and depart from runway 18. So we'll once he's gone, we'll line up before him. Swiss, I would assume that he's gonna go kind of southbound towards Switzerland. No, the stream is there's not really any schedule, because most of the time it's a last minute thing depending on my availability, and the flights I'll use Flight Aware to kind of see what routes are like available on the 777 usually, or on other types, but yeah, I tend to look at Flight Aware to kind of decide what I'm gonna do. Okay, so after the rolling Airbus, line up and wait, runway 18. So he's rolling. We'll line up.
18.
Runway entry procedure.
Check. Clear on the approach.
On runway 18.
So yeah, very often ATC would do that. Once an aircraft is on the runway and then rolling, they will say behind the departing Airbus, line up and wait, runway 18 behind. So as soon as he rolls away and there's enough distance, in particular for the jet blast, then we can line up and get ready. He's already 1500 feet, I guess we can go. So we'll bring the thrust to 55% roughly. Takeoff.
Check.
Thrust ref.
Check. Thrust set. $80 knots.
Hold.
Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
$400 feet.
Thrust rev enough speed. Set fly level 110.
Flight level 110 set. Climb.
Engage heading select. Engage heading select.
Engine anti-ice auto.
He's not listening to me. Go track select and turn left to avoid the weather. If there was a sail like this showing in real, you would definitely avoid. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Transition altitude, altimeter standard. Flaps up.
Flaps up.
Yeah, he's a little bit hard of hearing indeed. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete.
So we can see there's a 220 knots restriction there at Romeo India Delta. If we press the altitude intervention button here, it will get rid of the restriction, and now we can accelerate to 250 knots. So that's a little trick. If there's any speed limit restrictions, we can get rid of it that way. We'll continue the climb all the way to 350 now.
Flight level 100.
Check. Yeah, there's a few sails around, so we'll just avoid. Have a comfortable ride. Obviously, to avoid the weather and take like headings around the weather, you will need to coordinate with ATC. You can't just deviate on your own, but ATC is usually very helpful, so it's not an issue. Right, and we are now merry way. There's no more weather really on the weather radar now, so we'll go to Amtix, execute, and take LNAV. Now we can follow the rest of the departure. Yes, there's a few sails around. There must be above kind of showery afternoon. There's a few build-ups, but it's fairly easy to avoid because it's wide apart, so it's not really a big problem. So like always, 777 200 LR as is here is climbing like like a rocket. The takeoff weight was only 200 tons. The maximum takeoff weight can be up to 343 tons. So you can imagine that there's a fair amount of spare thrust to get us climbing. So yeah, 3,500 feet per minute at the moment. It's quite good with the tailwind. Seatbelt sign auto.
Seatbelt signs auto.
Thank you. He's not like multi-crew experience. Multi-crew experience, when you say thank you, he says, "Oh, you're welcome." But FS2 crew doesn't really respond to that. The only onward control is Eurocontrol East, but they are not on, so
in-flight entertainment. Today we have
no
one
problemo.
movie which will be followed by a snack, and then we will also be showing short clips and some news items. For the people sitting in window seats, we request that you
Right,
close
we'll match
your
the
window shade.
track.
This assists all passengers.
We always kind of
movie
match
much
the
better.
track along
Also,
the
as we dim the lights for the
LNAV
movie
route,
portion, please use
just in
caution
case,
when
you know, we
getting
need
up
to
and
adjust
using
the
restroom or walking
route.
aisles. And please, if you're sitting in an aisle seat, keep all items
So when
clear
we
of the
are
aisle for other people
following
and also for
LNAV,
our flight
we would
attendants.
use
Thank you.
track up here. We wouldn't really use heading because we are following the LNAV route, which is a track. So and it's also a little bit easier because with the track there's only a few changes every maybe 20 minutes. Every time there's a change in the magnetic variation, whereas with the heading it's subject to the wind, and the wind is much more variable than the magnetic variation along the route. So it's easier also to just follow with the route with the track bug. And basically put the track bug there on the track line. And that's pretty much it. Hey, Giant Unicorn, long time no see. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope everything is good. I finished my tea. Jeez, I thought I'd still some. Now we'll turn right to Lampu, I think it's called. Yeah, Lampu. Yeah, we look outside the aircraft. On the 200LR, I don't have many views set, to tell the truth. It's left wing, obviously, right wing, and the back view there. That's more or less the only views I have set for this one. So as I said, this is 777-200. One good way to recognize 200, first of all, by its length. It's a little bit shorter than 300. And from the outside, if you're not really sure with the length, because, well, from a distance it's not that obvious, what you can do is count the number of doors. If it has 4 doors on each side, so 4 doors here on the left side, and 4 doors on the other side, it's 200. If it has 5 doors, then it's 300. The 300's got 2 extra doors in total. Yeah, it's a nice aircraft. It's a nice livery with this kind of white and red tail and that little symbol there. It's cool. Underneath blue. It's quite good. Quite cloudy down there. A lot of cloud, which is good. Oh, cool. I'm glad everything's okay, except the stress a little bit, but aren't we all stressed out a little bit? I am all the time, so this is actually a way to kind of wind down a little bit. Wow, that was a little bit of a bump there. And we'll jump back in the flight deck. Still climbing like a rocket at 33,000 feet, still doing 3,500 feet per minute, more or less. Alright, we'll go vertical speed. We'll check Mach number now. And kind of ease the climb in the last 1,000 feet in RVSM.
1,000 feet to level off.
Check, check, check. If there is a little bit of weather around, usually I like to have the range on 80 miles, because the weather radar picks the weather a little bit better with that range, I find. And we can see at the moment there's quite a bit of weather on the route here, so we'll see what happens. Maybe as we get closer, maybe we can assess that we are above the weather. But if it's painting red like this, the real aircraft, at least you would certainly avoid this stuff. Vienna path. So let's see. Normally, to avoid the weather, if there's like weather on the route like this, you kind of the wind is even more weather now. The wind is coming from the right in this direction, so you would kind of try to go downwind of the weather, or upwind, should I say? Upwind, not downwind. Upwind from the weather, but here, because the route then turns to the left, if we go to the right, it's gonna be a big detour. So I think I'm gonna go to the left. But let's see how it works out. I think we're gonna have to avoid because there's a lot of weather there. We'll contact München 132 55.
good evening, Speedbird 277, 5 miles for Atlantic.
Speedbird 277, München radar. Good evening, radar contact.
München, good evening, Austrian 122, flight level 350.
Austrian 122, good evening, München radar contact. Proceed direct waypoint Akima, Alpha Kilo India Mike Alpha.
Direct to Akima, Austrian 122, thank you very much. Akima. Yeah, it's gonna help avoid the weather, so it's good. Execute. And with this rerouting, this direct to Akima, that takes us out of the weather, so it's good. I don't have to request and worry about the weather anymore. Trying to see outside, we can kind of make out, well, the way it's simulated maybe is not top notch, but we can kind of make out these fluffy clouds there, these build-ups. That's quite good actually.
Yeah, the problem is Oryx 9014, you have another
but thanks to this direct routing, we're avoiding all the weather, so it's happy days.
You guys have to deconflict on your own because you're about to leave my frequency in my area.
Oryx 914.
There's a bit of a fluffy cloud there, but nothing showing on the radar, so happy days.
Don't worry about us. We have Wisconsin around. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Orbix 9014, you're about to leave my area of responsibility. No further ATC, stand by.
Yeah, it's got a bit of weather here.
Yeah, that's right. No further ATC available. Euro control.
Yeah, I think it's this bit there.
So, Unicom wants to do that simulate. Bye-bye.
So I'm not sure here in the simulator if you bump into this weather, what would happen. But I would certainly avoid a red return like this in the rear aircraft, that's for sure.
You, another aircraft 1,000 feet above you, about 1 mile ahead of you. So you're leaving my area of responsibility. Unicom wants to do the simulate. Bye-bye.
It's 512.8, thanks for help, bye-bye.
Right, so I'm hoping for some control in Austria and then in Vienna, but remains to be seen.
Transavia 88 uniform, München radar. Good evening. Did you have an assigned transponder code?
Negative, sir. Transavia 88 uniform.
But the controller gave us a very good shortcut because they kind of cut like the whole corner that was there on the route. If we go to the route page, actually to the legs page, and we go to route 2, you can see in blue where the original route was, and now in magenta where we are routing. So we are cutting this whole corner there, which is really good. So that kind of saves us a bit of time and a bit of fuel as well. Although here it's virtual fuel, but obviously in real every little helps, as Tesco says. So we'll go back to route 1. We're not going to execute route 2, of course. Now to the cruise page. The pilot flying usually keeps the FMC on the cruise page, and the pilot monitoring on the legs page. You can of course change as needed, but these are the kind of default pages we keep on the FMCs. Yeah, of course, virtual fuel here, I mean, doesn't really matter if I burn a lot of fuel or not. There's nobody like sending me the bill for it, so. I try to plan the fuel realistically with PFPX, and I try to depart with a reasonable amount of fuel. I'm not gonna do a 55-minute flight with 70 tons of fuel. There's no point. So I try to plan the fuel realistically, but at the same time, if I want to fly fast or something and burn more fuel than would be like economical, then I can do that, I guess.
Taxi, Tango Echo Kilo Sierra India. Taxi of 17 Tango.
The top of descent is already 12 minutes away. 105 miles. It's a quick hop. And of course, there's no reason to exceed your landing weights. No, you would do that in. You will keep the, you know, the realism. I'm not gonna land overweight if I can avoid it. You would land overweight in an emergency situation or a non-normal situation, but in normal everyday situations, you will do your best to avoid landing overweight. Anyway, the flight would be planned so that you don't land overweight. They always plan you that way. They can't really plan you to land overweight. And also, when you decide on the final fuel figures before departure, you're not allowed as well to plan yourself with the fuel you take to put yourself in a situation where you could be landing overweight. So yeah. Oh, what to do in Tenerife? This time May should be quite nice. I'm sure in the evening there's a lot of nightlife in Tenerife on the kind of yeah, maybe in Tenerife itself, or in the city, or everywhere on all the resorts or kind of coastal towns. I'm sure there's a lot of activity there. Nighttime should be good. I don't really know Tenerife very well. I did spend maybe a week or so many years ago, maybe between 10 and 15 years ago. Yeah, 11 years ago exactly, actually, because it was during Euro 96, I think. No, Euro 2000, 2002, 2006. So yeah, 10 years ago. Jeez, 96 will be 20.
Yeah, that's the 1792. Thanks for the information.
Yeah, the average rate of passengers, yeah, in Samoa, yeah, I can see the trap there, but it's true the weights actually are averaged, and normally it works out okay. But there are some flights where we burn a little bit more fuel. This could be due to the wind, which is maybe stronger than forecast, but it could also be due to more weight, because the weights are averaged. And for a man it's about 85 kilos, for a woman it's about 70 kilos, something like that. I don't have the exact figures in mind because we don't really deal with that. That's the job of the loading people. Kids, I think, are about between 35-40 kilos. That includes of course like hand luggage, but that doesn't include luggage going in the hold. Luggage going in the hold, I believe, is weight, so that's the actual weight. But for passengers, it's an average. So if you've got for example, like small kids, then they'll be a little bit lighter than older kids. If you've got, depends on the people as well, their weight. Yeah. Well, I hope you have fun in Tenerife for a month. That's good. In May, it's a good time. May, June, before the rush of the summer holidays. At least you get a bit of peace. It's not gonna be overly busy. Right, I'm gonna have to look at the arrival a little bit because we are already almost there. It's a quick flight. So in Vienna, we'll look at the charts. And I'll look at the weather as well to kind of decide which runway. 150 at 40 knots, 1002. Oops. So it's gonna be runway 16. So we'll go. First of all, check the recall. Oh, there's an aircraft there. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna quickly show you that, guys. Very often I still like to see the label. You need to be within 10 miles, and during the day you don't really see the lights, but here at night you might not see this here, but we can see the aircraft, which is further away than 10 miles, but we can still see the lights, which is quite good. So when you fly in the kind of evening and night time, you can see the aircraft further away than 10 miles. We don't see it on TCAS. It must be below, actually, way below. The TCAS only shows traffic about 2,700 feet, 2,800 feet below or above. So.
Good evening, about 356 feet here. Hello, 35.
Anyway, that was a quick
radar. Good evening, Squawk 2357.
digression. So yeah, we'll check the recall. There's no notes. Runway 16 ILS. And it's the Masur to Whiskey. And the charts.
Radar, say again. Lufthansa 17902, mention radar, roger. Actually, you're about to leave my area of responsibility, so Unicorn 122, that's some late climb on your own. Okay, my own. Switch to Unicorn 122, that's not late.
Masur is not there. Hold on.
Hello, 356, mention radar. Radar contact.
Here we are.
Flight level 303.
Today I'm not using my charts. I'm using the charts from VATSIM Austria.
And all 356, proceed direct waypoint Gomik. Golf, Oscar, Mike, India, Golf.
I thought this was Masur. What are you doing? Yeah, Masur to Whiskey. So where is that one?
Munich radar, good evening. Beeline 188 is video cruising flight level 360.
Beeline 188, mention radar. Good evening, radar contact.
Oh, I can't find it. No.
Request descent Austrian 17 Tango.
Do.
Austrian 17 Tango, descent to reach flight level 110 at waypoint taxi.
Masur Tenta.
Descent flight level 110.
Where is this?
Level at taxi Austrian 17 Tango.
Hello, 356, and continue climb flight level 350.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, because okay. Do. It was right in front of me. I couldn't see it. Masur Temta Nerdu. That's correct. And then the transition then is via Nerdu. It should be Nerdu 6 Lima, I guess. Oh man. No, it says now do November. Oh, that's for runway 34. Okay. Yeah. Wrong chart. We'll execute that. Request descent almost. Insufficient fuel. We'll deal with that. You see, I've planned very tight on the fuel.
Austrian 122, you're leaving my airspace. No further ATC available. Unicom 122, decimal 8. Bye bye.
122 decimal 8. Austrian 122. Choose. Alright.
Houston Radar, good evening. Shamrock 717, flight level 300.
Shamrock 717, München radar. Good evening, radar contact. When ready, descend to reach flight level 110 at waypoint NASA, November Alpha Papa Sierra Alpha.
So we are pretty much on our own now, so I can descend at discretion.
Flight level 110 to be direct NASA, Shamrock 717.
I'll go down to 150 initially. Alright, I want to sort out this arrival. Because I can't find any references to it. Yeah, I still have an hour reserved. The fuel planning is still quite generous. I mean, we've got final reserve of just under 3 tons, and then the alternate is Graz. We've got almost 2.7 tons there, so we've got like 56 minutes. Of course, you don't want to get into the final reserve, but we've got an extra 26 minutes on the trip fuel, plus also a bit of contingency, so we can concentrate on Vienna. There's 2 runways there anyway, and here there's not really an issue, because if I've got to land, I'll land, even if I have to land on top of somebody. But in real, yeah, you would consider maybe that one of the runways can be closed, but in Vienna there's 2 runways, so you can kind of stick around a little bit longer. If one of the runways gets blocked, then you can go to another one.